Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which takes place every October and now in its 19th year, is a collaboration between government and private industry to raise awareness about digital security and empower everyone to protect their personal data from digital forms of crime. Joining us for this segment, we have Mike DeCesare, President and CEO of Exabeam, to discuss the product portfolio that gives worldwide security teams the greatest fighting chance at defeating adversaries with advanced threat detection, investigation, and response. Mike, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
I appreciate you having me here.
You got it. Tell us about Exabeam.
So Exabeam is, if you think about where Exabeam sits, we're big data meets cybersecurity. So all these products that companies buy, whether they're CrowdStrike or Palo Alto or any of the other products, they all emit a digital exhaust. Lots of data, log files, alerts, things that tell you what's going on in their environment. You have to have a place to put those. And Exabeam sits as one of the most cloud-native, hyperscale data lakes or SIEM products that is basically the repository for all that cyber data.
And for those who might not be as immersed in the cybersecurity world, explain to us what SIEM is.
Security Information Event Management. So it is the acronym that is the category that stands for the subpart of cybersecurity where data is stored. The same way that you have EDR or antivirus for endpoints or firewall, you have SIEM, which is it's the data warehouse of cybersecurity. It's the place that customers put all of the different logs and alerts that come out of all those products so that they can store and search those for investigative purposes.
October's National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. What is your advice for individuals looking to stay more cyber aware and safe online?
Yeah, so I've got young kids myself, so I always talk to my children about kind of what to do online. I think the first thing is be smart about what accounts you open. Every credit card, every bank, everything you sign up for is a different place that someone potentially can come try to steal money. So have as few of those as possible. It's always good to have to make sure that you change your passwords. It's amazing what a high percentage of the world uses the word password as their password. So be creative and be smart about it. And then my last piece of advice to people is wherever you keep your money, make sure that password is the hardest to, and not like anything else, and the most sophisticated, so that people have a harder time getting a hold of your money.
A federal jury recently convicted Uber's former security chief, Joe Sullivan, of 2 charges related to his attempted cover-up of a 2016 security incident at Uber, where hackers stole the personal details of 57 million customers and 600,000 drivers. How do you think this will affect the cybersecurity industry?
Well, first, understand that as companies do more online, right, as businesses expect us to put all of our personal information into their systems, there's an obligation for those companies to keep that information safe. And unfortunately, in Uber's case, they didn't disclose it as quickly as they should have disclosed that. And what I think you're going to see happen out of this is the CISO, the Chief Information Security Officer, that usually reports up under the CIO, the Chief Information Officer of a company. I think you're going to start to see CISOs report either into the CFO because of the risk portfolio, or even in some cases directly into the CEO. It really depends. Many CISOs have responsibility not just for guarding the systems that companies use internally, but for also guarding the customer-facing parts of their applications as well. So I think that you're just going to see a higher sense of awareness for this profession as a result of this.
We keep hearing about ransomware. It's all over the news. Why do you think this is still such a big problem for organizations?
Because what ransomware is basically is it's going after individuals or companies' money, right? Whereas if you look back at cybersecurity, 10, 20 years ago, it was more about intellectual property theft. And what the bad actors are realizing is it's much more profitable just to try to break into a system, encrypt it, hold the company accountable for giving you money, and then allowing them to have their data back. And if you think about ransomware assumes that somebody is in your system. What ransomware is highlighting is the fact that too much of cybersecurity spend is on prevention and not enough on detection. Antivirus, firewall, those are all technologies that companies deploy to try to not let bad things get in to begin with. Detection is acknowledging that you're going to have bad things in your environment and preventing those bad things from happening in the first place. And ransomware is just the highest profile example of what we've seen in the market. At Exabeam, as an example, we're able to help companies understand if somebody has valid credentials, if somebody breaks into an organization with known credentials because they bought them on the black market, we can still detect those bad actors being in an organization and stop those bad things from happening. And that's got to be the answer for ransomware, is companies just have to be better at keeping those systems safe to begin with so that they don't get ransomed to begin with.
And finally, Mike, Exabeam is at Nasdaq market site this afternoon to make a big announcement. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so when you look at our little part of the world, which is in cybersecurity, the SIEM, as I said, where big data meets cybersecurity, this industry is a little bit antiquated. Many of the vendors that sell into this space are either still on premise, meaning companies have to buy software and hardware and deploy those in their own data centers, or if they move to the cloud, they moved in a less efficient way. What we are announcing here, we've always been, what we've been known for is being the best behavioral analytics product in the market. That is what Exabeam is known for. We're now marrying that with being one of the strongest hyperscale data lakes in the market as well. And it's cloud native. It's built to take all the benefits of Microsoft and AWS and Google. It's built to take advantage of the strengths of the cloud and to marry those with the use case of trying to be able to help track insiders.
All right, Mike, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks for having me.